G'day guys, Coach Jesse here. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about kettlebell training and in particular, ladder training. Now, ladders are highly popular in the kettlebell programming world for their ability to accumulate a high volume or a high workload without compromising your technique. Okay? So if you think about traditional bodybuilding type programs and things like that where you have to do a lot of reps total, it's broken down in terms of per set. You know, you do sets of 8, sets of 10, sets of 12, sets of 15, and so forth. In kettlebells, we do things a little bit differently, and there's a reason for it. For example, if we take the grinds, for example, our slow lifts, exercises that require high levels of muscular tension, things like your military press, your goblet squat, even front squat, and Turkish get-up, for example, you're not really going to do a lot of reps per set. That is if you want to build high levels of strength, okay? There's no point in you grabbing a light kettlebell and doing 10, 12, 15, 20 presses per set. The load is far too light for you to develop any gains in strength and also developing the neurological adaptation that you need. What do I mean by that? In order for you to press a lot, you have to press a lot, all right? What I mean by this, if I break it down a step further, is if you want to press a lot in terms of kilos, you have to press a lot in terms of total reps or volume, okay? If you want to build your 1 rep military press, you're not going to be doing it, you're not going to get any closer to it by doing sets of 15 or 20 reps. The weight is just far too light. So, this is my trusty whiteboard, and I'm going to take you through the steps of how to use ladder training effectively. Military press is going to be the example. You're going to do 1 press on your left, 1 press on your right, and then take a break. Then you do 2 presses on your left, 2 presses on your right, and you take another break. That is 1 ladder, okay? So in red is the number of reps that you do per set. 1 each side, take a break. 2 each side, take a break. In blue is the total number of lifts per ladder. So 3. All right, if you're doing, a military press, you would double that because it's each side. All right, but if you're doing a goblet squat, 1 goblet squat, take a break, 2 goblet squats, take a break, and so forth. So this ladder here has 2 rungs. It has a rung of 1 rep, and it has a rung of 2 reps. Then, if you want to progress it, we add an extra rung. 1, 2, 3, gives you 6 total reps. And again, if it's a military press, you double it because you have 2 arms. Okay, do the math correctly the first time and you'll save yourself a lot of heartache down the track. But you can see the progression here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the volume per ladder increases. 3 total lifts, 6 total lifts, 10 total lifts, 15 total lifts. Okay? This allows you to lift a heavier load, still perform the movement as required to the technique standard, and accumulate a high level of volume without your technique degrading and breaking down, you cheating the movement, and without you using a little piddly weight. If you want to get strong, you need to lift heavy loads. Okay? This is the way for you to build a higher workload and a high volume per session or per exercise. So this in and of itself is a progression. And you pick the appropriate ladder for your current starting point. So if you're brand new to ladders, you start here at the very top. And then you work yourself down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you will repeat that for either 2, 3, 4, 5, or even more ladders. Does that make sense? Because we want a high level of muscular tension. These are slow lifts. Okay? Really think about this as a military press as the example. I wouldn't recommend doing 5 reps each side for a Turkish get-up, but this is for our grinds. Slow lifts, high levels of muscular tension. Do 1 press, do 1 great press each side, take a break, shake it out, use your torque test as your means of recovery, and then do your set of 2. All right? Now, if we think about our quick lifts, swings, cleans, snatches, things like that, our ballistics. Generally, I would program these in multiples of 5, all right? And this one here is done a little bit differently. And again, it is all based upon your current kettlebell weight, all right? So if you're doing 2 arm swings with a 24 and that feels heavy for you, use that as your baseline. Don't go above and beyond what you're currently doing, all right? We're accumulating volume, not load, in this training ladder parameters. So you do 5 swings, take a break. You do 10 swings, take a break, and then you go back to the start of the ladder and you do that again for 3 to 6 rounds or 3 to 6 ladders worth, okay? And the reason that we use kind of 3 to 6 as a ballpark figure is you need to do the math. You need to equate for how many total lifts you're doing per session. So if you're new to swings, you need to start with a low volume. Okay, and I'll get to what these mean in a moment. But this sequence here, 5 and 10, is 15 total lifts, 15 swings. If you were to add a third rung, 5, 10, 15, that's 30 swings already in one round or one ladder. So you can see the volume adds up very quickly, and especially if we are going up in multiples of 5. And then the last one would be 10, 15, 20. And I've removed the 5 here, and there's a reason for that. Your training needs to be specific for your goal. If you want to train for power, make sure your swings are powerful, okay? If you're doing 20 reps, okay? So let's say you're using that, I'll use a heavier bell. Let's say, for example, you're doing 2 arm swings, you're doing 32 kilos. If you can do 32 kilos for 5 reps and 10, it's highly unlikely you're going to be able to do 20 great swings at that same load. So that's why the ladder is shorter and has 2 rungs. As your fitness improves, as your work capacity improves, you will be able to do more, 5, 10, 15. I doubt you'd probably be able to do more than 15 reps with a heavy bell. It'll tax you, yes, but you should be able to still hit good quality reps for that 15. If you can't, you may need to bell down. Check the ego at the door and do the heaviest weight that your technique can tolerate for the prescribed number of reps. And again, that's why I've removed the 5 here. If your goal is more conditioning and cardiovascular fitness, you might want to work this one. You drop down a bell size or 2 and you do 10, 15, 20. You do your 10. You take a break. Maybe it's a minute, maybe it's 2 minutes, maybe you use the torque test. You go back for your next set when you feel, hey, I've done my 10, I now feel ready to attack the set of 15. Does that make sense? And then the same thing, you rest appropriately so that when you get to this next rung, 20 reps, you're good to go. Your technique shouldn't break down or drop just because you're tired or fatigued. If that's the case, hey, maybe this one is too much. Maybe you go back to this ladder, 5, 10, 15 is your maximum number of reps. Okay? See, these are just some ideas that I'm giving you to play with, all right? But with our grinds, the weight is high, the reps are low. Make sense? With our ballistics, the weight is lower, okay, in relation to your 1 rep max. So the weight is lighter, it moves faster, and you do more of them. Cool? So that's our 2 types of movements, our grinds and our ballistics. Now, one of the things that we do need to take into consideration is the training variables, okay? This is how you actually make long-term progress. If you understand these concepts, which I'm about to go through with you, you understand how to actually manipulate them in relation to your goal, you will make great progress for a really long time. So the training variables that you have to work with, I've mentioned it a few times. Volume, okay? In blue, this is the number of lifts, NL. So let's say, for example, you're doing a military press, you're doing 3 ladders of 1, 2, 3, you know? We double that number because we've got 2 arms. So that would be 12. And you're doing 3 rounds, 12 times 3 is 36. Your number of lifts for that particular training session on that exercise is 36. All right? We also have total load, which brings me right to this next point. Intensity. If you're pressing a 24 kilo bell and you're doing that ladder I just explained, 1, 2, 3, 3 times, you would equate the intensity as follows. 24 kilos, okay? 24 kilos times the number of reps. That is your intensity for that press day, okay? And it might look like this, light, medium, heavy. You might have a light day where, you know, the reps are low or the weight is low. Yeah? And a medium day, same thing. The reps might bump up a little bit, or you might go up a kettlebell. And then the same thing is true if you go for heavy days. All right, let's say, for example, your 1 rep max military press is 36. Okay? You're probably not going to be able to do too many ladders at 32 kg. Maybe you're going to work to 28 for a bit. But that's the same thing. We're working in relation to your current ability. Not where you want to be, but where you are right now. Okay? And if in doubt, use the lighter bell. Cannot stress that enough. Okay? And then the last piece is density. So that is your work per unit of time. So you can break it down in terms of kilos per minute. For me personally, I like to break it down in terms of total load, okay, per exercise per session. And what I'm looking at over time is, if I want to get stronger, I have to lift heavier loads per session over time. It's not to say every single session I'm going to go from here to here to here to here. All right? But over time, gradually, you should be able to either lift more weight or more reps or do the same amount of work in less time. Those are your training variables. Okay? Volume, do more total reps. Intensity, lift a heavier kettlebell. Density, do more work in less time. So I hope that gives you a comprehensive knowledge and understanding of ladder training, what it is, how to use it, which exercises are appropriate. But like I said, I would rather you start lighter, okay, rather than heavier, because that way you actually have room to grow, room to improve, rather than starting at your top end and having very little wiggle room for improvement, because all that's really going to lead to is a lot of frustration. So if you have an exercise that you want to develop or improve, maybe it is the military press, that's what I'm currently working on, I am using ladder trainers to help get stronger. Okay, so at this moment in time, I'm pressing the 24 and I am, where am I? I'm doing 1, 2, 3, and I'm doing lots of ladders. And I do mean lots of ladders. Like I said before, in order to press a lot, in terms of kilos, you have to press a lot, total reps. So that's how you can use ladder training. Make sure your rest periods are appropriate. You can either use a stopwatch or a timer, or one like I have on the wall. But don't let the clock drive you. The exercise and the intensity should drive your rest periods, not the other way around. A lot of people will shortcut and will shortchange themselves with the rest periods, which reduces the quality of the movement that they can do, and it actually diminishes the amount of weight you can lift. So if you're doing grinds and you're really tired and you're starting to fatigue and you can't generate a lot of tension, that's going to be an issue for you in terms of going and belling up. So check the ego at the door, start with less in terms of volume and also load, and build it up over time. But you can use the ladders here as I've just described to do so. If you have any questions, comments, drop them below and I'll do my very best to answer them. But I hope that explains ladder training and how you can use it to get stronger, more powerful, and build more muscle. Thanks for watching, guys.